Seattle Mariners versus Toronto Blue Jays. The 2025 American League Championship Series reaches a fever pitch as the Seattle Mariners travel north to face the Toronto Blue Jays at Rogers Center for Game 6 of what has been a dramatic back-and-forth series. Seattle, holding a narrow 3-2 lead, enters the matchup with a chance to clinch its first AL pennant in over 2 decades, while Toronto fights to extend the series to a decisive Game 7 on home turf. Both teams bring contrasting narratives. The Mariners, a balanced roster built on power arms and middle-order muscle, and the Blue Jays, a star-laden lineup that thrives at home and remains determined to prove their mettle after a turbulent second half of the regular season. Seattle finished the regular season at 90-72, capturing the AL West title by a slim margin over Houston. Toronto, at 94-68, took the AL East crown behind the best home record in the American League. The Blue Jays have leaned on consistency from their veteran hitters and a solid rotation, while Seattle's postseason push has been powered by its deep pitching staff and clutch performances from its young core. Game 6 offers the Mariners an opportunity to seal the series and advance to the World Series, while the Blue Jays, trailing 3-2 in the series, look to feed off the energy of their raucous home crowd and force a winner-take-all Game 7. The Mariners won 3 of the first 5 games in strikingly different fashions: dominant pitching, offensive outbursts, and late-inning heroics. Seattle's Game 5 victory, a tense 6-3 result at T-Mobile Park, put them 1 win away from the ALCS crown. Toronto, meanwhile, returns to its dome seeking redemption, and the numbers show this is no easy task for either side. The pre-game matchup predictor slightly favors Toronto at 52.9% to Seattle's 47.1%, underscoring just how evenly matched these teams have been throughout the season. Game 6 will feature a battle of right-handers, Seattle's Logan Gilbert against Toronto's rookie sensation Trey Yesavage. Both pitchers represent their team's pitching philosophies. Gilbert, a seasoned workhorse known for efficiency and poise. Yesavage, a rising power arm who has quickly ascended into postseason relevance. Gilbert, who went 1-0 in the series so far, enters with a stellar 2.45 ERA and a 1.27 WHIP over 11 innings. He's allowed just 2 runs while striking out 12 and walking only 4. The tall right-hander has anchored Seattle's rotation, following up his regular season in which he consistently delivered quality starts and handled high-pressure innings with a veteran's calm. Gilbert's ability to control the strike zone and induce weak contact has been the backbone of the Mariners' playoff success. Against Toronto's potent lineup, his margin for error remains slim, especially when facing hitters like Bo Bichette and George Springer, who thrive on fastballs over the plate. On the opposite side, Trey Yesavage has shown both promise and vulnerability. The young Blue Jays righty enters Game 6 with a 1-1 postseason record, a 4.82 ERA, and a 0.88 WHIP across 9.1 innings. He struck out 15 while issuing only 1 walk, a testament to his command and attacking mindset. However, he's also allowed 4 home runs, a concerning figure against a Seattle team led by power hitters like Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez. Yesavage's challenge will be to navigate through a Mariners lineup that punishes mistakes, particularly in the middle innings. Toronto's coaching staff will likely keep a close leash on the rookie, using the bullpen aggressively if signs of fatigue appear early. This pitching duel represents more than just a single game. It's a crossroads between experience and youth, where each pitch carries heightened significance in a series on the line. Gilbert's steady hand, command, and postseason composure contrast sharply with Yesavage's raw velocity, strikeout potential, and occasional inexperience under pressure. The outcome could hinge on who settles in first, as early control issues or a poorly located pitch could quickly swing momentum in a series already defined by big innings, sudden shifts, and high-leverage moments. Both pitchers will need to navigate traffic on the bases, work around mistakes, and maintain focus through every batter. knowing that a single swing or miscue could reverberate across the remainder of the series. Both lineups feature star hitters capable of changing a game with a single swing, making every at-bat critical in this tight postseason series. For Seattle, the offensive heartbeat continues to be catcher Cal Raleigh, who turned in an extraordinary regular season with 60 home runs, 125 RBI, and a .247 batting average. His .474 slugging percentage underscores his ability to produce in critical spots, while his leadership behind the plate provides Seattle with an intangible edge, managing pitchers and guiding defensive alignments. Raleigh's postseason heroics have already included multiple multi-hit games, clutch home runs, and timely RBIs, establishing him as one of the most dangerous hitters remaining in the playoffs. When he is locked in, the Mariners can strike quickly, shift momentum, and place immense pressure on Toronto's pitching staff, making him the centerpiece of Seattle's October identity. Backing him is center fielder Julio Rodriguez, the charismatic face of Seattle's resurgence and a catalyst for the team's dynamic offensive identity. Rodriguez hit .267 with a .324 OBP and .474 slugging mark during the regular season, and his ability to hit to all fields, combined with his speed and base-running acumen, has forced opposing pitchers to tread carefully and adjust pitch selection. When Rodriguez gets on base, the Mariners' offense often finds its rhythm, setting up opportunities for power hitters like Cal Raleigh and the versatile Ryan Bliss to capitalize in clutch situations. Bliss, despite limited experience, has contributed timely hits and steady defense at second base, proving to be a reliable presence in key innings. Together, this core of young, dynamic players allows Seattle to generate sustained pressure, manufacture runs, and maintain an edge in high-leverage moments, particularly in a tightly contested postseason series. For Toronto, Bo Bichette has carried much of the offensive load, emerging as the centerpiece of a lineup that relies on contact, timing, and smart base running. The shortstop finished the season with a .311 batting average, .357 OBP, and .483 slugging percentage, alongside 84 RBI, demonstrating both consistency and the ability to drive in runs in key situations. His bat-to-ball skills, plate discipline, and situational awareness make him one of the toughest outs in the league, especially in high-pressure playoff moments. George Springer complements Bichette with his trademark power and veteran presence, posting 32 home runs, a .309 average, and 84 RBI, while also providing leadership in the clubhouse. Springer's knack for delivering in big moments, particularly at home where he thrives under the Dome's fast turf, could be the spark Toronto needs to ignite rallies, sustain innings, and extend the series against a deep and opportunistic Seattle pitching staff. These lineups present fascinating contrasts and underline the strategic chess match at the heart of this series. Seattle leans on pure power and opportunistic base running, aiming to turn mistakes into runs and maximize every extra base opportunity. Toronto, conversely, thrives on sustained rallies, contact hitting, and manufacturing runs through patience at the plate and aggressive situational hitting. The Mariners have out-homered Toronto this postseason, but the Blue Jays have excelled overall with runners in scoring position, showcasing their clutch hitting and ability to capitalize on even small mistakes. If Bichette and Springer can stay hot against Gilbert's steady command, the Blue Jays' offense could rediscover its early season form, turning a tightly pitched game into one where momentum swings sharply in their favor, especially in high-leverage, late-inning situations. The last 5 games of this ALCS have been a roller coaster, with momentum swinging dramatically and both teams showing flashes of dominance and vulnerability. Seattle's offensive eruption in Game 3, 13-4, and Game 4, 10-3, highlighted their ability to overwhelm opposing pitchers when their lineup connects, turning early deficits into commanding leads and forcing opponents into reactive strategies. Over this stretch, The Mariners have gone 3-2, mixing convincing victories with a narrow loss, which suggests that their overall form remains strong despite the travel and intensity of postseason play. Their pitching staff, anchored by Brian Wu and Logan Gilbert, has provided crucial stability and innings that keep the bullpen fresh for late-inning matchups. Wu, who led the team during the regular season with a 2.94 ERA and 15 wins, has evolved into a true postseason workhorse, delivering multiple high-leverage performances that have set the tone for Seattle's success and underscored the importance of rotation depth in extended series like this ALCS. Toronto, on the other hand, has alternated between offensive bursts and frustrating quiet spells. In their last 5 games, they've gone 2-3, including a lopsided 13-4 loss and a tough 6-3 defeat that swung the series back toward Seattle, highlighting both inconsistency and vulnerability under pressure. Still, the Blue Jays' confidence at home remains high. They were 54-27 at Rogers Center during the regular season, a record that reflects their comfort and familiarity with the park's unique conditions. Their offense often wakes up under the dome, where hitters like Springer and Bichette thrive on the turf's fast pace, using speed, contact, and smart base running to generate rallies. If Toronto can capitalize early and maintain momentum, they could swing the game's rhythm and force Seattle into high-pressure situations, making Game 6 a contest of execution as much as talent. Both teams have dealt with injuries that have subtly shaped the series and affected strategic decisions. Toronto remains without first baseman Ty France, out until October 24th, starter Jose Barrios, and closer Nick Sandlin, limiting rotation depth and bullpen flexibility. Bichette's day-to-day status has been closely watched, though he is expected to start in Game 6, a critical boost for the lineup. For Seattle, the bullpen has taken hits. Gregory Santos and Jackson Kowar are sidelined until later in the month, while Ryan Bliss and Trent Thornton remain unavailable, reducing late-inning options. Despite this, Seattle's relief corps has held strong behind the arms of Andres Munoz and Matt Brash, who have combined for a sub-2.00 ERA in the postseason, providing stability and allowing manager Scott Servaes to lean on his starters longer without overtaxing the staff. These absences and adjustments have subtly shifted matchups and highlighted the importance of depth, adaptability, and execution under playoff pressure. Seattle's 90-72 regular season record secured them the AL West title for the first time since 2022, edging out Houston by 3 games in a tightly contested division race. The Mariners' balance of pitching depth and timely hitting has carried over into October, making them one of the most complete and battle-tested teams remaining in the playoffs. Toronto's 94-68 record gave them the AL East crown and the league's third-best mark overall, reflecting a lineup built on consistency, depth, and situational hitting. Both clubs are built for October. Seattle, through a combination of durable arms, shutdown relievers, and timely slugging. Toronto, through disciplined contact hitting, bullpen precision, and strategic versatility. With postseason experience and depth across multiple positions, these teams are poised for a series where every pitch, base-running decision, and defensive alignment could decide the outcome. If the Mariners clinch Game 6, they'll advance to their first World Series since 2001, a monumental achievement for a franchise long defined by near misses, heartbreak, and generations of anticipation. This run has rekindled the same emotional energy that surrounded the team during the Ichiro era, uniting a fan base that has waited over 2 decades for another taste of October glory. Toronto, meanwhile, is fighting not only to extend its window of contention, but to validate years of investment in a core built for this very moment. A win forces a decisive Game 7, where experience and endurance collide under maximum pressure. The stakes couldn't be higher. For one team, history awaits, while for the other, a season of promise stands 1 inning away from heartbreak. Injuries have subtly tilted the balance of this series. Seattle's bullpen depth has been tested, but their rotation's durability has allowed them to compensate with remarkable consistency. Bryan Woo's stellar season, 15 wins, 198 strikeouts, and a 2.94 ERA, made him a cornerstone and a tone-setter for this pitching staff, embodying the team's resilience and competitive edge. Logan Gilbert's postseason steadiness has further solidified Seattle's confidence in tight spots, as his ability to command the zone and generate weak contact has repeatedly quieted Toronto's power bats. The Mariners' bench, featuring versatile contributors like Bliss and defensive specialists, has filled gaps effectively while maintaining the team's overall chemistry. Even with injuries limiting bullpen options, Seattle's adaptability, lineup depth, and strong defensive metrics have kept them poised under playoff pressure. Toronto's injury list poses greater concern heading into Game 6. The absence of Jose Berríos deprives them of a critical mid-rotation starter capable of stabilizing innings and keeping opposing lineups off balance, while Ty France's injury removes a reliable infield bat and defensive anchor whose presence often steadied the lineup. Springer's day-to-day status adds further uncertainty, particularly given his postseason pedigree and ability to deliver in high-leverage situations. Nick Sandlin's absence limits Toronto's bullpen flexibility, forcing manager John Schneider to shorten his relief options and potentially lean more heavily on Gausman, who posted a 3.59 ERA with 198 strikeouts during the season and remains available for long relief if the game goes sideways early. The Jays may also look to Chris Bassett, 11 wins, 3.96 ERA, as an emergency option if Yesevich struggles, though that would come with the cost of thinning their rotation depth for a possible Game 7. The key to Game 6 may lie in the small moments. For Seattle, Cal Raleigh's ability to control the tempo behind the plate and deliver power at crucial junctures could once again define the night. His chemistry with Gilbert has proven vital, as the duo has neutralized Toronto's middle order multiple times this series, mixing pitch sequences effectively and minimizing hard contact. Julio Rodriguez's speed and base-running aggression could also tilt momentum in Seattle's favor, especially if Yesevich struggles early with control. A stolen base or extra base taken on a routine single could shift the game's rhythm, forcing Toronto's defense into hurried plays. If the Mariners continue to capitalize on situational opportunities, sacrifice flies, two-out hits, and smart base running, they'll maintain the upper hand in a matchup where precision often outweighs raw power. For Toronto, Bo Bichette's bat remains the ultimate equalizer. If he can produce multi-hit plate appearances against Gilbert's fastball-slider mix, the Jays' offense could find rhythm early and force Seattle's pitching staff into longer counts. George Springer's leadership and postseason experience could also steady the team's confidence, particularly if Toronto falls behind, as his energy and clutch hitting have historically sparked rallies in pressure moments. The Blue Jays will rely heavily on their bullpen trio, Gausman, Bassett, and closer Jordan Romano, to limit Seattle's damage once Yesevich exits, trusting their command and late-game composure to keep the contest within striking distance. If that group can bridge the middle innings cleanly, Toronto's offense may have just enough firepower to tilt momentum back in its favor against a battle-tested Mariners club. Defensive execution may also play a role. Toronto's infield has shown occasional lapses under pressure, particularly in late innings, where miscommunication or hurried throws have extended opposing rallies. Seattle's outfield defense, anchored by Rodriguez, remains elite. His range and arm strength routinely erase extra base hits and deter aggressive base running. The turf of Rogers Center has been known to quicken grounders, which could benefit contact hitters like Bichette and Chapman, putting added stress on Seattle's infield positioning. Conversely, that same surface could hurt pitchers who rely heavily on ground balls, as sharply hit contact can turn routine outs into infield singles, subtly shifting momentum in a game likely to hinge on precision and defensive composure. All indicators point toward a tense, low-scoring battle defined by pitching efficiency and situational hitting. While Toronto has the home field advantage and a slight statistical edge in expected runs, Seattle's veteran composure and bullpen reliability make them the more complete postseason team right now. Logan Gilbert's command and postseason maturity give the Mariners a trustworthy foundation, while Trey Yesovich's inexperience against a patient Seattle lineup could expose Toronto early. The Mariners' knack for grinding out at-bats and capitalizing on defensive lapses could tilt momentum in their favor, especially if Gilbert maintains his rhythm through the middle innings. Expect a game where every base runner carries weight, and tactical execution, bunt plays, bullpen management, and clutch hitting becomes the difference between survival and elimination. Expect the Blue Jays to make an early push, feeding off their crowd and Bichette's bat. But the Mariners' combination of power and resilience should ultimately prevail. Raleigh and Rodriguez are both capable of game-changing swings that can flip momentum in an instant, and Seattle's bullpen remains the quiet hero of their October run, consistently shutting down rallies and protecting narrow leads. If the Mariners can weather Toronto's early surge, their depth and late-inning composure should once again prove decisive under the playoff lights. Seattle's pitching depth and clutch hitting should carry them through to their long-awaited World Series appearance. However, don't rule out one last Toronto surge. If Yesovich can deliver 5 strong innings and Springer's bat ignites, the Rogers Center could erupt and send this classic series to a Game 7 finale. The atmosphere promises to be electric, with every pitch and at-bat magnified under postseason pressure as two evenly matched teams battle for a chance to etch their place in October history and define the narrative of their respective seasons. Momentum and composure favor Seattle. The Mariners' balanced attack, led by Cal Raleigh and a strong rotation, pairs clutch hitting with late-inning resilience, blending youth and experience as they chase a statement win to cement their postseason credentials. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Seattle Mariners winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box.